This way. Hope you're all doing well. Played a little bit off of stream, made it here, and I'm currently looking for a piece of metal plate for a guy to cook me a dinner, so.
Machine's weak against frost.
Ah, rock. The most useful thing here.
Useful for making dyes. This place has seen better days.
Oh, yeah, get up there. There we go.
don't think I can get past them. Guess I should leave it for now. Can't get rid of the vines. Not yet, anyway. Some kind of device. The metal reflects the sun. Send a signal? Looks like some kind of lens. Guess I'll keep it for later.
gonna receive another visit from Olvin himself. He was pushy, but I stood my ground. And dare I say it, I even got my own back. Yes, I did.
I'm listening.
When I made his meal, I used 3 pinches of salt. Instead of 2.
Each journey begins with a single step, I guess. I think I have everything you asked for.
Then just as you have inspired me, let us see if I can return the favor. Time to cook.
Wow. Mildif, that was inspired.
Next time you want the best provisions, you know where to find me. Your next order of any dish will be on the house.
Thanks. And don't forget to stand up for yourself.
Funny you should say that. As it happens, I'm already cooking up my next portion of resistance. Hope to see you again. Back for that free meal? Go on, peruse my menu.
Oh, okay, neat.
It might be a good idea to stock up on some food before I head back out. See what else Mildif's cooking up.
It's a tonight.
Change your mind about that brew?
Any tribe can enjoy it.
Come for that beer after all, eh? Here, sit down. Get a pint in her hand. Wasn't expecting you to swing by.
Since when do I do what's expected?
There's that spark. Fire and spit.
Fire and spit.
That's a blast from the bellows. Won't fix the forge, but at least I can forget about my troubles for a while.
Like what?
Take your pick. We got bodies to bury from the bristlebacks, the work stoppage, Olvin grating the gears about his concession decree. Hey! Weapons off the table! Ah, don't listen to me. Nothing a cold brew and knocking some heads together can't fix eventually.
So the bristlebacks and the Daunt. Where did they come from?
That's the thing. No one rightly knows. They just showed up one day, rampaging around the valley like they exploded out of a forge. Lost some good people. But I heard talk of some vanguards trying to take them down.
Did they come through here?
Stopped by briefly for supplies. Olvin was none too pleased. Won't be able to crank it to his advantage once the bristlebacks are gone.
But how could bristlebacks and the Daunt help Olvin?
2 words. Concession decree. Since no one knows where the bristlebacks came from, Olvin has taken to blaming the Carja for him. He's hoping to dig up enough old resentments to get a strike going until the concession's signed. This is just his latest attempt. He's been trying to rile up the workers since the day he rolled into town.
And people actually believe him?
Lots of folks suffered at the hands of the Mad King during the Red Raids. Give him half a reason, they'll blame the Carja for anything.
Damn Carja slavers.
I thought you'd be back in Freeheap.
Well, after the big battle at Meridian, I went back. But realized it was running smooth. Didn't need me. Heard about the rebuilding out at Barren Light. Figured they could use another hammer. Been scraping by ever since.
You could always leave.
And go back east? Nah. I ain't one to leave a lit forge. Besides, someone's gotta be a squeaky wheel for the workers around here.
So about Olvend.
Around here, everything's about Olvend.
How'd he end up in charge?
He got here early, like a squirrel smelling a fat nut. He knew rebuilding Barren Light would need stone and timber. So he jangled purses all over Mainspring, getting investors to front claims on anything in the Daunt that might be worth a damn. Thing is, all the bankers back home know that this is Karja land, and the Sun King can revoke those claims at any time. That's why he's desperate for the magistrate to sign off on a concession decree.
This concession decree, what is it exactly? And how would it help Olvend?
It's pig diddle, that's what.
A writ that would put all Osram claims in the Daunt under Osram law, even though they're on Karja land. It would mean that any existing ore, stone, and timber claims couldn't be revoked by the Karja. No more risk, no more hesitation for investors back in the claim to pour in the shards and expand their business. And since Olvend has a stake in all those claims, it would make him richer than a scrapper in a junk heap. Not to mention Chainscrape would become an Osram municipality, so he could buy enough votes to call himself an Elderman. He's a sly old badger, I'll give him that. Figures if he keeps up the pressure, eventually the magistrate will sign.
Well, I have to be going. Thanks for the drink, Petra. I'm glad I stopped by.
Anytime, Flamehair.
Come to revel in some strike, sister? Let me set the board.
I was just passing by.
First timer, huh? Don't worry about it. I'll go easy on you. You got any pieces?
No.
Well, aren't you in luck then? I got an extra set, a Tanakh original, straight out of the Forbidden West. Sit. I'll run you through it in a hot spark. I'll give you something special if you win it on my board, too.
Okay. Oh, there's a lot here. Okay. Yeah,
All right,
fuck it.
let's start off simple. The Tanakh like to say that Machine Strike is a game of pure strategy. We each get a set of pieces. Each piece represents a kind of machine, and each machine is worth a different number of victory points. And to win the game, you'll need to gain 7 victory points by destroying the opponent's machines. It can be tricky remembering the details of every machine, so we use these notes to keep track of them. You see that number on the top right corner?
I do.
That there is how many victory points you'll get for destroying that machine. Notes also tell you how far a piece can move, how powerful their attacks are,
Okay.
the distance they can strike from, and of course, their health. Okay, that's enough for now. Let's just play. I'll explain the rest as we go. I own the board, so I get to choose who goes first. Since this is your first time, I'll let you go. Usually you get to choose which pieces to set on the board, but this will do for now. Pick up that machine piece to your right, and move it forward. And remember, each machine can only move a certain distance. Take a look at your notes if you need a reminder. Easy enough, huh? Now, you get to move 2 machines each round. So go ahead and... Perfect. There's not much else to do for now, so just end your... We're forging onwards. Let me move my pieces here. And we're back to you. This time, why don't you try attacking one of my pieces? Try with that machine on your right first. Now move the piece. When performing an attack, a machine's combat power is a combination of the terrain your machine is standing on and its own attack power.
Okay.
This board only has grassland terrain, which has no effect on a machine's combat power. And your current machine has 2 points of attack power. So in total, your machine's combat power equals 2 points. Since my machine isn't the one attacking, it has 0 points of attack power. And just like your machine, it's not affected by grassland terrain. So right now, the difference in combat power between the 2 machines is 2 points. This means... Did you get all that?
Okay, simple enough.
Knew you were a smart one. Finish up by attacking my machine. Not pulling any punches, huh? Now grab that second machine. See how your machine can't move close enough to attack mine? You can make your machine sprint. That lets it move 1 space further. Try it out. Downside to sprinting is that your machine can no longer attack. Now, some players like to take a risk and overcharge their machine in cases like this. But it will damage your machine's health by 2 points. So use at your own discretion. Let's try doing that now so you can see what I mean. That's about it for your turn, then.
Okay.
Now, I'll let you in on a neat trick. That machine of yours, the one closest to me, grab a hold of it. Same as in the wilds, machines have both armored points and weak points. You can see them marked on the pieces. Blue shows where their armor is thickest. Hit them there, and you'll do some damage, but not a lot. Now, red shows the machine's weak points. Hit those, and you'll deal a mighty blow. Here, let me show you. Rotate that piece so your machine faces mine. Now let that machine have it. Off the board she goes, and there's your first victory points. You don't have 7 of them yet, so let's keep going. Your machine attacked mine, but has it... Go ahead and move downward. You've already attacked a machine and moved your piece. But if you overcharge your machine, you can attack a second time. And by the look of your machine's health, you'd be sacrificing your piece to defeat mine. But sometimes, that can be a good thing. Ain't that a thrill? Now, because your machine was knocked out at the same time as mine, we both get the victory points our machines are worth. Good news is, since you're the one attacking, you're going to receive your victory points before I do. Which means you can reach the coveted 7 victory points first. That's why sometimes losing a piece can be the best way to end a game in your favor. Now, you'll notice you didn't get quite up to 7, but you did destroy. That means you're the... That wasn't so hard, was it? Just remember to always check for the best terrain to attack from. You'd be surprised the advantage you can gain over an opponent like that. I know it saved my behind in a game or 2.
I'll try and remember that.
Oh, before I forget. These are all my spare pieces. I want the Savior of Meridian to have them. It's a small set to be sure, but it should be enough to get you in on any strike games you find out there. You might even fancy looking out for them strike carvers. They've got all kinds of unique pieces that can turn a game in your favor, though they'll need the right materials to craft you one. Or you might find them in the wilds if you're lucky. You know, I've lost my fair share of pieces after night of machine hunting or brew hopping. Oh, no need to thank me. Always a pleasure to help out new strike players. Now, if you feel like playing, I could even teach you a few more tricks if you...
Thanks.
Bet your ass I'm about to keep playing.
Ah, I knew I'd make a strike player out of you yet.
I'm gonna talk about it,
How
okay?
about this time I tell you how to use a board's terrain to your advantage? This one's got all the different terrains you can encounter in a game of Strike. Knowing when and how to use them can mean the difference between victory and defeat. Terrain mainly affects your machine's combat power. As you know, when fighting an opponent's machine, you compare its combat power to yours. The higher your machine's combat power, the more damage you can do. So finding the right terrain is an essential strategy for overpowering your opponent. Here, I'll show you. Grab that piece to your left and move to attack. Now let's take a look at combat power is the sum of a machine's attack power and the value of the terrain it's standing on. Since your machine is attacking, it's using its 2 points of attack power. It's also standing on forest terrain with a value of 1 point. Add those together and your machine has 3 points of combat power. My machine is standing on grassland terrain with a value of 0 points. It's also not attacking, which means their attack points aren't in play. So my combat power is 0. This means your machine can do 3 points of damage. Go ahead and test it out. There you go. Now, choosing the right terrain doesn't just improve your offense. It can also help defend your machines from attack. Grab your other piece and... Since your machine is attacking, it's using its 2 points of attack power. This means your machine's combat power adds up to 2 points. My machine can't use their attack powers since they're defending their position. But they have the higher ground. They're standing on forest terrain, which is worth 1 point. This means my combat power adds up to 1 point. Now, the front of my machine is colored blue. This means that the spot you're about to attack has armor protecting it. Which means my machine gets an extra point, giving it a total of 2 combat power points. If we compare the combat power of both machines, you'll see that you won't be able to do any damage. Whenever you're unable to top an opponent's combat power, you can still choose to attack and break their machine's defenses instead. Go ahead, try it out and see what happens. See? When you break a machine's defenses, you can knock it backwards. Sure, both our machines will receive 1 point of damage, but knocking my machine off that terrain makes it more vulnerable to attacks. Not only that, if my machine had been blocked from moving backwards, it would have received an extra point of damage. And if my machine had been blocked by another one of my pieces, that machine would have received damage as well. That's why breaking a machine's defenses is a great way to deal damage to several pieces at once. Useful, right? Okay, now go ahead and end your turn. There's still one more thing I want to show you. All right, as we've seen, the higher the terrain, the more it'll add to your machine's combat power. However, there are 2 other terrains that work a little differently. This is what we call a chasm. Only flying machines can be placed on those. But it'll take away 2 combat points if you do, so be wary. This is marsh terrain. Landing on it will take away 1 combat power point from most machines. It'll also keep your machine from moving for the rest of the turn. Here, let me show you. Grab that machine on your left. See? All you can do now is wait for your next turn to move again. Or you can overcharge your machine to get out of there. You can still attack any nearby enemies so you're not completely helpless. Well, I think that's enough yammering for me for now. Promise it'll all come in handy next time you play. Here for more tips? why don't I tell you a bit more about the pieces we used to play? In a normal game, you get to choose which machines you place on the board. Each one is worth a certain number of setup points, and you can spend up to 10 assembling your army. Knowing what each machine brings to the game and building an army that matches your strategy is the key to becoming a machine strike master. When assembling your army, there are a few things to keep in mind. First and foremost, you can never have more than 4 of the same machine on the board at the same time. With that in mind, most players would choose machines based on how far they can move or how much attack power they have. But a real strike player will be looking at a machine's type and skills. Let's take a quick look, shall we? Pick up that machine on your left. All right, let's talk about the different ways in which a machine attacks its opponents. In other words, its machine type. If you look at your notes, you'll see this machine here is a melee type. You can also tell by the shape of the base the piece stands on. A melee type machine attacks the first enemy within range, and no one else. We've seen this plenty of times, so just move that piece forward. Great, now grab your other machine. Looks like we've got ourselves a gunner type machine here. This means they'll only hit the farthest enemy in their attack range. Let's move that machine forward and end your turn so we can take a look at the rest of the pieces. Let's go with this piece first. This is a ram type machine. Attack an enemy with it and it'll push the piece backwards. Like this. See, now my machine has taken over your machine's spot on the board. This is a great way to take the advantage away from your opponent if they have the higher ground. Looks like we have one more piece to look at. Now this is a beauty of a piece, a dash type machine. When it attacks, it'll move to the end of its attack range and damage every machine in its path, including your own. So make sure you take a good look at the board before you send it off to the races. You should also make sure it's able to finish its attack on an empty spot. Otherwise, you won't be able to attack at all. Here, I'll show you. Look, it even rotated your piece. A nifty little piece you'll definitely want in your set. If you look at your notes, you'll notice this particular machine has one of the skills I mentioned before. There's quite a few of those, and we haven't even looked at all the machine types yet. But I'm pretty sure you've got more important things to do, so I made you a list. It's got all the tips and tricks we talked about, too. I think that about does it for now, so if you want to play a real game, just let me know. Here we go. You're up, Red. Time to get serious. Your move, Red. You got me down to one piece. I am impressed. Time to make my move. Your turn. Okay, let's see. I won! Oh, but I'll play you again if you want.
Whoops.
Good luck. That's it for me. My turn. Board's all yours. Just one piece left. That sure dampens the forge. Off the board it goes. You got me. Fair and square.
Whew.
This is gonna be fun. You're up, Red. I'm up. Your turn. Well, that's done now. My turn. Time to get serious. One less piece on the board. That was brutal. Time to make my move. Knocked right off the board. Oh, only one machine left. I'm up. That's the game. You up for a rematch? Let's do this. Okay, let's see. That's it for me. Okay, let's see. Your move, Red. One less piece on the board. Oh, seriously? Board's all yours. That was brutal. I'm up. Well, that's done now. Your move, Red. You're a tough fight ahead of me. Ah, looks like I lost.
I'm getting there.
Let's play. Your turn. Time to get serious. That's it for me. Hey, I like that piece where it was. Time to make my move. Off the board it goes. Knocked right off the board. You're just hammering down on my pieces now. Knocked right off the board. I'm up. One less piece on the board. Board's all yours. That was brutal. Okay, let's see. You're up, Red. Well, that's done now. Time to make my move. Off the board it goes. Just one piece left. Time to get serious. Guess luck's not on your side today, Red. Good luck. board's all yours. Now that was a smart move. Okay, let's see. Off the board it goes. Knocked right off the board. One less piece on the board. Well, that's done now. Hey! Oh, that was the perfect spot. That was a surprise. That's it for me. That was brutal. A single machine left? That ain't good. My turn. I got a tough fight ahead of me. I was hoping you wouldn't do that. Time to get serious. Oh, I won! Probably shouldn't sound so surprised, huh? Let's do this! Time to make my move. Your move, Red. I was hoping you wouldn't do that. Time to make my move. Well, that's done now. My turn. That was a surprise. Oh, bold choice. Oh, you hit that weak spot all right. Okay, let's see. Off the board it goes. Knocked right off the board. Time to get serious. Your turn. Just one piece left. You got me down to one piece. I am impressed. That's the game. You up for a rematch? Let's play. You're up, Red. I'm up. That's it for me. What a hit! One less piece on the board. I'm up. That knocked right off the board. My turn. Your turn. Well, that's done now. Hey, I like that piece where it was. Fearless. You're up, Red. Off the board it goes. Time to make my move. Guess I shouldn't have left that weak spot open, huh? Time to get serious. A single machine left? That ain't good. Okay, let's see. Guess luck's not on your side today, Red. Here we go.
It's always that last fucking piece.
My turn. Board's all yours. One less piece on the board. Your move, Red. That was brutal. Okay, let's see. Your turn. I'm up. Your move, Red. Ah, off the board it goes. Time to get serious. You're up, Red. Armor is your best friend in this game, I'm telling you. One less piece on the board. Feeling daring, are we? That was brutal. That's it for me. Knocked right off the board. Time to make my move. I won! Oh, but I'll play you again if you want. This is gonna be fun. Board's all yours. Hey! Oh, that was the perfect spot. Time to make my move.
Alrighty.
Your move, Red. I'm up. Board's all yours. Well, that's done now. Time to get serious. knocked right off the board. Well, that's done now. That one hurt. My turn. Your turn. That was brutal. Okay, let's see. Ah, off the board it goes. One less piece on the board. Just one piece left. That sure dampens the forge. Okay, let's see. Oh, I
Are you
won!
fucking kidding?
Probably shouldn't sound so surprised, huh? Good luck.
God, you're ridiculous. You're fucking playing as bullshit.
I'm up. You're up, Red. Time to get serious. That's it for me. One less piece on the board. That's it for me. Hey, I like that piece where it was. That was brutal. Time to make my move. Well, that's done now. Board's all yours. I got a tough fight ahead of me. My turn. Your move, Red. I'm up. Your turn. Time to get serious. got me down to one piece.
You're
and then,
ridiculous.
that's
What the
game.
fuck?
You up for a rematch? This is gonna be fun. You're up, Red. Okay, let's see. Your move, Red. My turn. Ah, off the board it goes. Your turn. Ah, knocked right off the board. Time to make my move. That was brutal. Ah, off the board it goes. Time to get serious. That's it for me. One less piece on the board. Ah, knocked right off the board. Well, that's done now. Okay, let's see. You're up, Red. Oh, I thought I had that one.
Finally.
Let's play. Board's all yours. That's it for me. Knocked right off the board. That was brutal. Hey! Oh, that was the perfect spot! Come up. Well, that's done now. Off the board it goes. Time to make my move. Board's all yours. One less piece on the board.
What the fuck, game?
Time to make my move. Off the board it goes. Well, spark my forge. You have beaten me on every one of my boards. Now that deserves a prize, I say. Don't be a stranger.
Jesus.
The bristlebacks threaten us all.
I hope Corvin and the others are doing better than I am.
What happened to you?
That damn mine is what happened to me. It won't be the last injury if Olvin keeps shoving those tongs into those tunnels.
What mine?
Northeast of Chainscrape, where the river ends. I told Corvin we should stop when the first cave-in happened, but Olvin probably threatened to cut off our pay. Or worse.
How about you slow down and take me through it? You mentioned you were injured in a cave-in.
Yeah, a couple days ago. That's how I hurt this blasted leg. Corvin and the others were opening a new vein while I was checking on an older one. As soon as their blast hit, the tunnel I was in collapsed. Might have dodged it if I wasn't running on barely a spark of sleep. We were pushing too hard and too fast.
And you're afraid Corvin and the others might not be as lucky if it happens again.
Mm-hmm. Hit the nail right on the head.
Alright, welcome to the stream.
How come Olvin's in charge? Don't these mines belong to the Carja?
Try telling Olvin that. He brought in all the backing to get them open. Might as well own them. Fire and spit. You ask him. He owns us as well.
Who's Corvin?
He's their foreman. And a damn good one. The kind that knows how to deal with management when it gets unreasonable. But Olvin... his demands go beyond unreasonable. Corvin's been doing his best to appease him. He even blamed himself for my injury when it was Olvin who ordered the extra shifts.
Sounds like a good guy.
That's why we all put up with the long hours and lousy conditions. But if the whole mine becomes unstable, I'd rather suffer Oven's wrath than die buried in rubble.
I could check in on your crew if I'm in the area.
I would appreciate that. Thank you.
I could take her.
Whew. Well, that'll keep me up.
Oh, excuse me.
Couch is full, but my pack has room. Exploring cauldrons might teach me how to override these things. Oh, not happy to see me? Coming from where Arnav said I'd find his crew. This must be the mine Arnav told me about. It looks like the miners are in trouble. I need to get off this thing and walk.
I'm fine. There are others that need help. Savior, please.
What have I done?
That looks like the foreman Arnav mentioned.
You good? I'm okay. Thank you, Corvin.
Corvin? Arnav sent me. I'm...
Not now.
Easy. What happened?
explosion in the mine. Water flooded the whole place. Some of my guys are still... They're still down there. I can't stop.
You've done enough. Are you hurt?
I'll live. The others. Please.
I need to know exactly what happened.
We used controlled blast to open up new veins in the mountain. One of them must have gone wrong. I can't... I have to go.
How many are still down there? Corvin, how many?
Two. Two, I think. Two more.
I'll do what I can. Gotta find those two miners. Quick.
Hello? Can anyone hear me?
The miners. One of them doesn't look too good.
I think I'm starting to see things. Is that a Nora?
Are you okay?
Who are you?
Corvin sent me. Are you hurt?
My leg. I was a little too close to the blast.
What happened?
We were blasting in the farthest tunnel, but the scaffolding didn't hold. It collapsed. I think it blocked the drainage shaft. Water started flooding the place as quick as I drink ale. I barely managed to drag us here.
So something's keeping the water inside the tunnels.
What are you thinking?
I've got an idea. Are there more explosives?
Are you crazy?
Yeah, should still be some up top, but you'll need these fuses. Are you crazy? You can't move, and I'm not leaving you. It's not like she can make things worse.
Don't go anywhere. I need to find out this working retreat. Made it. There's the debris blocking the shaft. If I can reach those explosives up on that track, maybe I can blast through the blockage. Maybe I can swim past it almost. Shoot that. I can take I should follow those tracks. See if they lead to the explosives. I need to find a way up to those explosives. See where this leads. There's the explosives, up on the track. Just get across somehow. Might be a good idea to drop that ladder.
Whoa.
Did the trick? Ah, guess that got its attention. Now let's go check on those miners.
Ooh, level 5.
so dead.
We don't know that.
Looks like everyone's okay.
You did it.
I thought you blew yourself up.
Are you two okay from here?
I can get this idiot down. Don't you worry. Thanks, kid.
Better let Corvin know his men are all right. I found the two you mentioned. They're safe, but could probably use a hand. Is that everyone?
It is. I dread to think what would have happened if you hadn't shown up. I knew we were blasting too much, but the man who staked the claim here, Ulvund, he kept pushing and pushing me. I tried to shield my crew from his constant demands every damn day. I should have been stronger.
You were there for your crew when they needed you. That counts for something.
Ulvund can threaten me all he wants. I am not letting my people back into those mines.
Will you be all right?
Yes. I can take it from here. You are owed, Huntress.
Ulvund's name keeps coming up. And it's never good. Sooner or later, someone's gonna have to deal with him. Can't override that now. Need to get data from the cauldron if I can find it.